there goes the bell that only means one thing. It's time for the recess table.
We're about to end week 2 of the 2014-15 NBA regular season, and we're bringing you another episode of the Recess Table. We're an all-Filipino NBA podcast for the Pinoy NBA fan. My name is Stan C, Celtics and Rockets fan. Follow me at Stan947 on Twitter.
This is Janrick Lim, biggest J-Kid fan in the Philippines. Sorry, Susie, that's mine. At J Limberlake on Twitter.
I am Marcus Paras, and follow me at xbacpahog.
Oh. I'm Samson Lim, number 1 fan of your NBA champions. Go Spurs, go!
My name is Anton Rodano, biggest 76ers fan, the 0-6 Philadelphia 76ers. Follow me at Carliano on Twitter. And everybody, welcome to episode 2, The Eddy Curry.
Eddy Curry.
Eddy Curry, like, what a cop-out though. I mean, I expected na maglalaro siya in that Allen Iverson game. He was in his warm-ups, and he was contributing any way he can by just standing there right next to him.
Bro, basta alam ko, medyo mahal siguro yung bill nila sa food, dude. Eddy Curry, bro, seriously, he's like Bo Belga and
E-Rice, extra
Pagpasok
rice.
sa NBA cafe for the press con, I saw Eddy Curry. Ask me what was he doing.
What?
Fucking eating, man.
No surprise there.
Fucking eating. He looks like he hasn't lost any weight. Tapos nagulat ako when they introduced him. NBA champion Eddy Curry. Paano napaisip ako?
I was about to say 2012 with
NBA
LeBron.
Miami. He was at the end of the bench.
Against the
Wow.
Siya yung Adam Morrison equivalent ng
Against the
Spurs.
Spurs.
Against
Thunder.
Wag mo naman insultuin si Adam Morrison by comparing him to Eddy Curry. Grabe naman.
Fine. But seeing Eddy Curry though, it was funny just seeing him trying to be friends with sina Geronting, sina Kiefer Ravena. Parang ang awkward lang. Parang he's way up there, and sina Kiefer parang, uy pare, from up there, how's the weather up there?
Pero he was cheering them on, man.
He was cheering them on. He was being a supportive
Yep.
kuya of sorts, which is fun. But it's fucking Eddy Curry.
Actually, isn't it funny how the 2 past Currys we've had in the league are like so opposites?
Actually, yeah.
Eddy Curry and Steph Curry. I mean, you got one big ass motherfucker playing in the paint and can't even like run the break, and you got this high velocity guy just keeps running and just keeps shooting. He's
no
skinny,
defense.
and he's skinny as fuck. No, both of them can't play defense. I guess.
And we have to mention that Eddy Curry was also part of the supposed Chicago Twin Towers with Tyson Chandler.
When they traded Tyson Chandler
Yeah.
for Elton Brand.
And now,
Here.
at least Tyson Chandler is still helping Dallas.
Yeah.
Maybe win another ring.
Maybe.
And he has been in he's been an Olympian, an NBA champion,
True.
Tyson Chandler.
Got a point there.
Defensive Player of the Year, All-Star, and Eddy
Skips
Curry is
that day.
here. Eating in the NBA cafe.
Pero NBA
Still
champion.
a champ, pare.
Still a champion.
Champ pa rin.
But guys, what do you think?
Champ pa rin.
If Eddy Curry reached his potential, would he be the DeMarcus Cousins of today's game? Or what do you
I
think?
don't know. He doesn't have the guard skills of DeMarcus Cousins.
Yeah.
And he wasn't a monster rebounder for his size.
No.
Yeah, no
But
defense.
He knocked the 20-footer down though. Like you'd see the young Bulls before Tyson Chandler and Eddy Curry. You'd have Tyson Chandler just being the whole Tyrese Thomas actually.
Yeah.
You can compare him to Tyrese Thomas. Just
Defense.
high motor, defense, blocks, dunks. And you see Eddy
Mark
Curry.
Payne's like.
Okay, yeah, you can compare that. And then Eddy Curry just in the paint, clogging up lane,
Carving
carving some
space.
space, hitting some 15-footers. I mean, that was Eddy Curry. For those who don't know, we named this episode The Eddy Curry because of his jersey number.
Yeah, it's number 2.
Number 2.
And fitting enough, he was here in Manila for the all-in charity basketball game with Allen Iverson. But since we've got a packed show, we have a lot to talk about. Yeah, like we said kanina, we're about to end week 2 of the season, and we can't talk about week 2 without talking about the guys who were injured last year and who are building on a comeback season. We'd like to call this segment "Return of the Mac." Very fitting. Mark Morrison. Who knows Mark Morrison? Who remembers Mark fucking Morrison?
I do.
Who's Mark Morrison?
Mark Morrison. If you know who Mark Morrison is, you were either born in the 90s sa 2000s ka na nagkamalay, or you have no idea of pop culture whatsoever, which is okay, because Mark Morrison was a one-hit wonder. Yun lang talaga yung sumikat ng kanta, Return of the Mac. And let's talk about Kobe now. Kobe coming back off a lost season, coming in for the Lakers, undefeated, winless, sorry. But he's leading the league in scoring at 27.6 points per game.
I mean, all I gotta say to that is, and for those who haven't followed us at Twitter, the Recess Table, at the Recess Table, we tweeted a stat that had Kobe needing 455 points to surpass Michael Jordan, third all-time scoring.
And he can do that this year.
By December. At the rate he's going right now. Actually, I think we did the math and he needs 19 games averaging about 23 and a half points.
And that's
And that's
at the rate he's going.
He
he's
might
gonna
do it in
be
like 15
exactly.
games maybe, yeah.
And how big of a milestone would that be, diba? For the career of Kobe Bryant, for him to actually eclipse Michael Jordan?
Well, I mean, there was a point in time when, everyone knows Michael Jordan's nickname was Air Jordan. There was a point in time when people were calling Kobe Air Jordan, H-E-I-R. Because,
Makes sense.
right, because everyone, well, except for the haters, of course, but then most of the legends and the current players, all of them are in agreement that Kobe is the closest
thing.
The closest, like Jalen Rose said it perfectly. If Michael Jordan was like the original, Kobe was the remix. Right? So, I mean, not only is it huge for Kobe as a player, but then it's like the teacher, the student surpassing the teacher in that sense. You know what I'm saying?
But until Kobe gets that sixth ring, well,
Oh, yeah,
he's still not going to be on that same level.
But
Right.
They're in the same conversation, but they're not on the same level.
Well, since we're in the topic, how would you guys feel about, let's say, all right, next year after the offseason and the Lakers get who are the free agents?
Rondo.
Marcus Hall,
the big men.
Ray
Greg
Rondo,
Monroe.
whoever, yeah, those guys, and then they win the championship. All right, let's just theoretically
okay.
speaking, they win. Not only would Kobe have the same amount of rings as Jordan did, but he did the one thing Jordan could never do.
Which is do it in multiple generations with multiple sets of teammates.
Not just that, but win without Phil Jackson.
oh wow, man, good point right there.
Forgot about that. Yeah.
So I mean, that's
All five nga pala are with Phil.
exactly.
That's good
And
point.
all six of
Yeah.
Jordan's was with Phil. So in essence, if Kobe does win his sixth without Phil Jackson, where does that put him in comparison to Michael Jordan?
Sige, ito. Let's have Kobe win his sixth first, and then we can talk.
It's like theoretically speaking, that's it.
Let's put that aside. I like how you brought up Chicago because we have to talk about Derrick Rose.
Yeah.
Syempre, big question mark si Derrick Rose coming off 2 injury-riddled seasons. He's currently averaging 15.3 points per game, 5.3 assists per game, and he's already missed 3 games this
Yep.
year.
Today he was out again.
He was out again. So if you have him in your fantasy team, what the fuck? Why would you draft him? Why would you draft him? I don't get it. Why would you draft him?
Why did you draft
I
him?
don't know. Parang I think sentimental value yan talaga. Naalala ng mga tao yung MVP season niya, yung 2000 to 2008. But we're like 6 years removed from that.
So, naman, 3 years lang naman.
3 years.
He won the MVP.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah.
We're 3 years removed from that. Pero it's both knees eh. You know what I mean?
Right, but right
And now
now
both ankles.
his problems are his ankles.
Oh
not even
man,
the whole
got the Steph
I
Curry
I think
Man.
Chicago's just being cautious about Derrick Rose. The past 2 seasons they haven't been really playing with him, and sanay na sila na wala si Derrick Rose eh.
And that's a sad part. And that's a sad part. Sanay na sila. You're not supposed to be used to having your star player out for so long and for so frequently.
I don't know.
Yeah, but the thing is, all right, compare their situation right now to the Oklahoma City Thunder.
Hashtag everybody down.
Right? Everybody's hurt.
See what you did there?
So it's like I've said this before in our thread that I actually saw the Westbrook injury, the Durant injury, as a blessing for the Oklahoma City Thunder because you're gonna have the supporting crew stepping up, and then once Durant and Westbrook come back, they're gonna be ready to support him.
Exactly.
Bro, nag-step up ngayon.
Perry Jones.
Yeah. Andre Robertson.
Exactly.
Ano na-injure naman? What the fuck?
Yun lang.
Sobrang malas eh. Parang
Malas lang.
lahat, parang hinintay ko na yung starting 5 na eh. Sebastian Telfair.
Which is?
Hindi, umabot sa ganun.
Right.
I wanted sana small forward, power forward, tsaka center. Adams, Nick Collison, and Kendrick Perkins. Exactly. Pero
No, but going back to the Bulls.
ubos na sila.
Going back to the Bulls, that's my point. Is like we're happy to see people step up. And you guys are right. The Bulls are doing.
They're
really
5-1
well.
right now.
They're 5-1 right
because
now.
they're a deep team.
They're a deep team, exactly. So add Derrick Rose into that mix because we all know Derrick Rose is not a chemistry breaker.
Yeah.
He's a plug and play guy, you know.
Yeah.
Then
Agree.
once he comes back healthy, what if they're just doing a Greg Popovich?
Could be.
And then surprise everyone in the playoffs.
Pero syempre nakakalungkot coming from a 2011 MVP season
Yeah,
with his
yeah.
monster stats, his godlike stats, and then to see him get humanized
Slowly, yeah.
to this level. 3 years pa lang, he's only 26 years old.
Very young.
Think about that. Na parang lost na yung career niya at this point in the eyes of some people.
I don't want him to turn out.
I don't think it's a lost, it's a lost career already for Derrick Rose. Because when you look at it, he's still young, and I think that it's more of in his situation that he's with Chicago, that Chicago already, has a system. They already trust Thibodeau, and I think that ano na sila yung they're just Chicago. They play Chicago Bulls basketball. They don't play Chicago Bulls with Derrick Rose and Chicago Bulls. It's Chicago Bulls itself.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Derrick Rose is plug and play, but a bigger point that we have to stress today is it's X-Pac's birthday, guys.
Birthday, Snorlax.
Yo, good news for you. Good news for us because we're Celtics fans. Celtics beat the Pacers today.
No, it's bad news, good news because Marcus Smart got injured.
Actually, yeah. Pero tama yung sinabi natin in episode 1. Brad Stevens is trying to win every fucking game.
Every game.
Yeah, they're basically competing in every game except for that. Well, there's one game that they lost by a big margin, but
Dallas.
But he's-
Ang galing din lumapit.
While we're on the topic of Marcus Smart, it's my first time to ever see someone suffer an ankle injury, but then needing a stretcher.
Yeah. Toughness.
No.
How do you question the toughness of somebody who grew up on the streets?
Yeah, like Marcus Smart.
Like, laki sa hirap.
Yeah.
Laki sa hirap si Marcus Smart. If you've
Read
read his story.
Oh yeah, definitely.
The
But that,
guys-
Rags to riches type.
Rags to riches siya
story.
talaga.
but that's not the point I was trying to make. They reported it as an ankle injury, but what if it's actually not? What if it's
No,
worse?
pero if you...
I'm just hoping he doesn't end up like Julius Randle. Please let there be no Randle part 2.
Yeah, I like
That
the way
hurts.
the rookies are, which we'll get into more later on. I like how they're easing their way in. No one's out of the gate exploding. Unlike
and then hitting a wall.
yeah, exactly. Like
Exactly.
unlike Brandon Jennings 55, that was like a blessing and a curse because
Yeah.
every time people were expecting that he'd
Right.
produce big
Young
numbers.
buck.
Yeah,
Young
exactly.
buck.
Young buck.
I'd like to also point out before we jump to the next player that I don't want Derrick Rose to be Penny Hardaway 2.0.
Oh.
You know what I mean? Because that's we never saw it, but Penny was bam, out of the boom,
He's
crazy.
brilliant, he had
Yeah.
potential, but we never saw how he could realize that.
Yeah, he could be. But so far,
That's the sad part because in the 90s they saw two players. They had Penny Hardaway and
Grant
Grant Hill. So far in our generation, Brandon Roy
Brandon
is
Roy
Derrick
tough.
Rose the second one.
I hope not.
I-
Everyone hopes not, diba?
I hope not.
But so far naman, when he's played, he seemed pretty explosive.
Yeah.
That was good to see.
Even in the World Cup, World Championship.
No shooting, pero
No shooting, pero the Hawks
aggressive.
still there.
Well, I mean,
Still a
if
bird.
you're an opposing coach and you have Derrick Rose, I mean, you're playing against Derrick Rose.
You want to attack him.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you have to attack
Yeah.
those ankles, but at the same time, defensively speaking, he's still a threat. He's
Yeah.
still Derrick Rose now.
Okay, fair point. Fair point. Let's talk about Ray John Rondo coming off another injury-riddled season as well. But right now he's averaging close to a triple-double.
Surprisingly.
Get these stats: 9.3 points per game, 9 rebounds per game,
Rebounds,
and 12.5 assists per game.
That's because of that white man front court.
No, that's a very good
He
point.
needs to do all the rebounding because who's your center? Fucking Kelly Olynyk.
Oy, may Jared Sullinger naman.
Jared Sullinger.
I signed him in my fantasy.
White boy din yung backup. Tyler Zeller.
Tyler Zeller.
No, but you know what? Rajon Rondo playing well right now is actually amazing for the Celtics, and this is coming from a Sixers fan. You know why?
And I appreciate that.
Because his value, his trade value,
Going
it's
up.
going sky high.
Yeah.
That's right. It's good
him,
for us.
Exactly. It's him showing that, hey guys, I can still play.
I got something
And you know
left in the
why?
tank.
The difference between him and like the likes of Russell Westbrook and Derrick Rose is Rondo plays close to the floor. He doesn't jump that much.
He doesn't need to elevate.
He doesn't need to elevate. He's
exactly.
effective without jumping.
And that's why his knees are more preserved.
Exactly. So even though he does, let's say he does get hurt the same way Derrick Rose did,
Which he did.
which he did,
exactly.
he's gonna come back fine because he doesn't rely on his
Explode,
athleticism. Damn it, you guys are gonna get someone better now.
Yeah.
I'm excited. And I want Rondo to get traded to Houston, obviously because I'm a Celtics Rockets fan, and it can work.
Yeah,
it can
yeah,
work.
it can
Who
work.
the hell are you guys
Getting?
Dude,
Who are you
Terrence
getting?
Jones is gonna go to Boston in that.
Alright, Terrence Jones and
Terrence Jones is
Rajon
probably gonna get traded away. In an ideal world, if we kept Jeremy Lin would have been part of that package.
Agree.
Yeah,
But
right
since
now,
he's out,
yeah.
out of
But
the
since he's
equation,
out,
are you?
Feeling ko the biggest prize is Terrence Jones.
Terrence
Do
So
they
Terrence Jones with
include-
like 200 picks.
Do they
next 200
include
years.
P-Bep?
With
I
Rondo,
wouldn't be surprised.
with Rondo playing right now, I'm thinking the Knicks are not gonna get him in a trade.
Oh no man, fuck the
Oh,
Knicks. man.
no.
Fuck the Knicks.
Don't tell me Danny H want, Bargnani's contract.
No.
The Knicks is not gonna get him.
The Knicks are not gonna get it.
All right, so I guess the question right now is how soon before the Celtics actually trade him? Because you guys don't want. I mean, I cheer for a tanking team, so
Yeah,
I'm
yeah.
sure you guys don't want too many wins as well.
Now here's the thing. I think he's gonna be a Celtic until the All-Star weekend.
Wow, that's gonna be a lot.
Until
of
All-Star weekend. I think they're really gonna try to see yung trade value niya over an extended period of time.
Yeah.
Kasi malaking question mark from a player who comes off a bung knee,
Oh, right.
an ACL. You
Totally.
want to see how he plays for another 3-4 months.
The only drawback you have there is you don't have as much time anymore to see other options.
That's true,
Right?
And that's
Because-
something I'll concede.
Right, because like by the time the trade deadline comes and you can't find a good deal, Rajon Rondo is a free agent this summer.
Yep.
Ito, do you think that Sacramento's gonna try to trade for Rondo?
Not
with the way,
right now.
with the way they
But I wouldn't
Don't destroy their chemistry.
Collison is surprisingly doing well.
But he's not a starting point guard for me.
he's showing he's capable.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yun na nga,
I guess.
exactly.
Something to do
Who'd have thought that Sacramento would be able to replace Isaiah Thomas with Darren Collison and be 5-1 at this point in the
No
season?
one thought.
It actually another X factor with Sacramento, even though Isaiah Thomas was gone, is also because they signed Ramon Sessions. I think he's an underrated
Sessions is a
point
good
guard.
one.
But right now, if you have him in fantasy, Putana, he's worth throwing back into the waiver
You
wire.
don't have to see the stats to know if the player is good or not.
Speaking of which, DeMarcus Cousins,
Oh,
Beasting.
beast. And you know what the biggest difference is? He lost a ton of weight.
Yep.
That FIBA run really helped him.
Oh yeah,
Being
literally that FIBA run
Yeah.
really helped him.
I just heard last
Came in
night
fit.
Shaq saying as Cousins is the best big man in the game.
I would think.
I have
Would you agree?
Ah,
Nope, not
Anthony
over Noah.
Davis.
Over
Or
Anthony
AD.
Davis, Mark Gasol.
I mean,
Like,
it's up there. It's up there. At least the
It's a never
top three maybe. For
maybe
me,
the
top
best
three.
center. Best center.
Marcus Gasol.
best center siguro.
No, I don't think so. I would still vouch for Joe Noah.
Joking
Yeah.
Okay, Mark Gasol.
Marcus Gasol. Anyway,
6-0.
And you're a Memphis fan.
We'll go there. We'll go to that.
Okay, now that we're talking about big men, how about Al Horford and Brook Lopez? Also coming back this season.
Horford's doing good. Like,
How are they doing?
Al Horford is doing well, averaging 14 points
Wow.
a game, 8 rebounds a game, almost 4 assists a game, something you would typically expect from Al Horford. Sure, you'd expect a bit more on the points, but Paul Millsap is actually taking care of that, and so is Kyle Horford.
Look at those
Kyle
block.
Korver.
Look at those block stats.
2 blocks per game,
Wow.
plus 1 steal per game. So that's all around. If you're playing fantasy NBA,
Yeah.
good fantasy
oh
value
yeah.
for Al Horford.
Something that Pero cannot give you.
I don't know. You know what? The thing is, going back to injuries, he tore his pectoral muscle.
Yeah.
I mean, it's got nothing to do with his legs. That's the important thing.
Yeah.
No ankle, foot, or knee injury.
Hindi siya limbs eh.
Hindi.
It's
So
a
like,
chest injury. So
yeah, and it's a pectoral muscle. That shit heals. So I mean, the performance is not as shocking to me because it's not like he's a bounce back kind of guy. Not like Kobe or Derrick Rose
Or
those
Rondo,
guys.
yeah.
Or Rondo, exactly.
But what about Brook Lopez then? Who's coming off another leg
There you go.
injury? And
Never
then
ending.
never-ending leg injuries.
Never
Tapos yung
ending
rebounding
leg
numbers
injury.
niya, it was actually good last season before his injury. Now he's back to averaging 5.5 boards a game. So bumalik siya yung sa
nothing
tendencies niya. Yeah.
So nothing new.
Nothing new. I don't know what to expect from Brook Lopez or Brooklyn anymore.
I don't expect him to average double-digit rebounds. Parang that expectation is out of
So
the way.
fluke lang yung last year.
What is
parang
average
yung highest niya was rookie year ata, around 8 boards a game eh.
I think he came close to that last season.
Yeah,
or
pero
so the one before the
But
latest
I don't
injury.
think he's coming back to that. But what we can expect from him is that he'll score down low. Parang minsan kasi sumasabit yung mga kamay pag nagpa-foul, pero kaya niya mag-finish eh. Finish
Right.
strong and boarding whatsoever. So parang, I mean, Brooklyn has been playing well. Credit to him and siguro Deron Williams. Pero 3-2, not the best record, not the best record in the East right now.
I can't expect much from Brook Lopez though, because whenever he talks, I can't even understand him.
I have a picture with
Ian
him
Robin.
when he visited here in the Philippines.
There's something about the way he talks. Like that.
Alright, let me ask this question. Quick lang, para lang, just for fun. 7 seasons in, can we now say that Robin Lopez is the better twin?
No, I'm sorry.
I
No.
already know it, sorry.
I mean, here's the thing. Robin Lopez is a fan favorite type of center
Yeah.
because he works hard, blue collar.
I'm a
Blue
Robin
collar.
Lopez.
I love Robin
Also,
Lopez,
yeah.
but the thing is,
Rolo.
there are a lot of blue collar centers, and there aren't a lot of centers like Brook Lopez who can score outside the paint.
Kumbaga si
inside.
Robin, dinadaan lang niya sa sipag.
Because we're in an era right now of
Skill.
like rare big men, rare scoring big men, at least, you know. So I guess Brook Lopez is still more talented.
Offensively, for me,
Offensively.
offensively.
He's still a little bit throwback, you know,
Yeah.
the dying
Throw-
breed.
But if you asked me the question, who would I rather have? That's a different question, different answer too. I'd rather have Robin.
Just because he's more durable.
Yeah.
Kasi right
More
now,
games.
oh, I
he's more
disagree.
and he complements more people rather than Bro.
Yeah, that's true.
Brook would be freaking perfect with triangle offense though.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He would be perfect. See, that's what I'm saying. There aren't a lot of big men that would be perfect in complex offenses like the triangle offense. It's hard to find. It's you got the Gasol brothers, Greg Monroe, and Brook Lopez. I mean, who does?
All right. How about let's round out this list of players who are coming off injuries by talking about first the Nuggets who are coming back. You have Danilo Gallinari and JaVale McGee. So JaVale McGee averages just 14 minutes per game. Danilo Gallinari only 5.3 points a game. He's barely made a 3-pointer in every game so far, and his 3-point shooting percentage a measly 18%.
Nobody cares about the
I'm
numbers.
kind of regretting because me and Anton, he gave me Danilo Gallinari in the fantasy, and I'm regretting it now.
No, alright, here's the
But
thing.
then bro.
No, I gave Mark Gasol though. Alright, but here's the thing. Remember when quote unquote the Nuggets robbed the Knicks of that Melo trade?
Yeah.
Danilo Gallinari was the centerpiece.
You're right.
Who else did they get?
Wilson Chandler, Timofey Mozgov.
Lonzo.
Looking back, did they still rob the Knicks?
No.
Right? If you think about
I
it.
think when you look at it now, the best player they got there was Bosco. It's now Bosco.
Mozgov. And I mean,
Wilson Chandler, dude.
yeah, but he's
Yeah, what happened to Chandler?
He's the
Suddenly-
he's the NBA's J Wash, Jason.
Oh yeah,
Washington.
perfect. Yeah.
Right?
yeah.
But see, that's what I'm saying though. Like, I never understood why people said, "Oh my God, they stole Melo." I mean, the Nuggets stole all these players from the Knicks. But then, the players they got are so easily replaceable.
Yeah.
Everyone said, "Oh, Danilo Gallinari is gonna be the next big thing." Granted, he got hurt, but he's this Italian guy who can't even play defense. He's Andrea Bargnani in small forward.
Yeah. So,
My bold prediction here with the Nuggets, I think Brian Shaw might not finish
Yeah,
the season, or at least he's going to be the coach
I don't-
until the end of the season.
I don't
He's not
think-
going to go past this season.
I don't think his system fits them.
Triangle offense.
Alanganin eh.
Yeah.
No, but going back to Melo, I think that trade, yeah, I think Knicks got the best player. I still think it was a robbery of sorts because
The assets.
kasi if he knew that Carmelo was going to go to New York, he already proclaimed that I am going home. That coming home. You know, he was.
Did he proclaim?
No, he did. So parang, bakit mo pa kailangan ibigay? Sabi niya naman pupunta naman siya.
Here's my question to you now, alright? Because you know how the NBA is a business all about politics and whatnot.
Yeah.
Was that just Melo trying to rush the deal?
I think he was
I
trying to
wouldn't be
rush.
surprised.
Yeah, I think so. I think
Alright,
so.
so let's say it was a tactic that failed, and
Okay.
he stayed with the Nuggets, and he was a free agent.
Sure.
Alright, let's say.
Sure.
Would he still go to the Knicks? I mean, he'd have other options by then.
He would have, but the Knicks would have been the one to offer him the most money.
Because the
Yeah.
Knicks had more to give than any other
Team.
suitor.
Exactly.
That's what I'm saying. I think he was just playing the Nuggets. He was like, oh,
But at least the Nuggets got something out of the deal.
Okay,
Well,
yeah.
at
But,
least, yeah, right. But it's not, I don't think it was a robbery.
Well,
Because now we have
offering-
the advantage of years to look back.
Exactly. That's what I'm saying. Looking
It's,
back.
yeah, it's just everything's just in hindsight. Pero parang naalala ko that time, I didn't want the Knicks to give up on Mozgov kasi Mozgov had playing time during that. After that, yung pumalit, sino ba center na?
Doria.
Nene, they had Nene at the time.
Who?
No, Knicks.
Sorry, Doria.
Doria.
Hindi na kayo, medyo alanganin eh. So,
No, I agree. But you know what? Carmelo is a once in a generation talent. I'd sell the
top 10?
Not
Right
all
now?
time.
Right now.
I guess, yeah.
But not all time. No.
Alright, so are we good with returning players?
Bali na si Jovi.
I'm forgetting one returning player, pero mamaya na siya. Let's save him for the segment on rookies. So I guess you know who we're talking about. Now let's talk about the Cavs now. The big question, of course, on everybody's mind is when will the Cavs mesh? Because they're not doing as well as we would have liked. And parang feeling mo na people were bashing Kyrie Irving this week for having the 34-point outburst with 0 assists. And I saw that on your Facebook post, Anton. Parang puta ng classic point guard yung magta 34 points with 0 assists.
Here's my point, okay? It's okay for me to see guards score a lot, alright? Even if they have 0 assists. Alright, that's fine with me. The biggest issue I had was that not only did he have 0 assists, he was on a team that had Kevin Love and LeBron James, but he attempted the most, 23 lang man, but he attempted the most amount of shots. You're on a team with LeBron James and Kevin Love. You're a point guard, and then you attempt the most amount of shots.
Alright, I've got a question now about LeBron. Because correct me if I'm wrong, but that was also the game where LeBron only scored 2 points after the first quarter.
No, he had 31 points that game.
No.
Utah? He had 31 points that game.
Yeah.
Right, so
No, but the one before.
That was
against
the
Blazers,
one
diba? Yung Blazers yung
Okay, so
the
the
Kyrie 0 assist game was against the Utah Jazz.
Okay.
When Gordon Hayward stepped back, fadeaway.
The Butler did it!
The Butler did it.
Sige, so that was the Utah game, the 34-0 game. Let's talk about that Blazers game though. Kasi I feel like LeBron was trying to make a statement when he only scored 2 points after the first quarter. And if you guys are not gonna- sadya yan. If you're not gonna do it my way, paano kayo bahala kayo gumawa ng sariling paraan?
He's such a bitch.
Parang, what do you think about that? Is that like a Machiavellian move? Is that brilliant? Na parang, sige, you do it your way, and then when you see that it's not working, I'm gonna step in and do it my way. Or is LeBron just being a whiny little bitch about things?
Well, in the Utah game, he was taking shots down the stretch. It was him. Remember that bogus 3-point shot foul?
Awful.
And then that lucky ass corner shot.
The corner shot.
Yeah, so I mean, I don't know. It might be a power play. It could be a power play. I mean, we've seen this before. The last time LeBron James was
Cleveland.
Mike Brown.
Mike Brown. Exactly.
Natatakot for David Blatt because he doesn't seem to have the power he should have as the coach.
That's what happens when you have LeBron James on your
All
team.
coaches are under LeBron.
I mean, players, current and past players always say the NBA is a players' league. It's a players' league.
But there are certain coaches that you can't bitch her out, like Lionel Hollins. You can't bitch with, you can't fuck with Pop, you can't fuck with Lionel Hollins.
I agree.
You can't fuck with Doc Rivers.
Yeah.
Kahit sino ka pa, kahit si LeBron James ka, even if you're God, you're not gonna mess with Doc Rivers.
But I think David Blatt at a certain point will get on his grill. I mean, he's that type of. I mean, he's from. Diba, parang in,
Champion coach, diba?
Yes, champion coach in.
But Europe's different.
No, but
Yeah, it's a whole different animal in NBA. So
Well, I guess that's a matter of ego, because you have LeBron James, the celebrated son of Ohio, who left and came back, and all of a sudden the same fans who burned his jerseys are starring in the Nike commercial where they're all supposedly one team now.
Together.
Right. So he knows the marketing pull, the popularity strength he has.
Our stuff,
So
you know.
it could be a power play because he knows his value.
Check it out.
And he only has a 2-year contract. Remember?
Dion Waiters is starting for the Cavs, and that's a LeBron power play.
Not
right
anymore.
there.
Not recently.
But he opened the season as a starter, and that says a lot about LeBron's influence because he does want Dion Waiters in there to make an impact.
Right.
Which is weird because when you take a look at yung roster nila, parang mas maganda ata, mas mainam ata pag si Dion Waiters comes off the bench as a spark plug.
spark plug. Yeah.
Who's the
Can I have a conspiracy theory about that?
bench guy?
I have a conspiracy theory about that.
Delhi.
LeBron James is the stat king. Alright, here's my conspiracy theory. What if he wanted Dion Waiters to be alongside him all the time because he's a knockdown shooter? To
Get assists up.
But he said in a report that
you.
he's not a knockdown shooter. That's not his game.
Yeah, but he still is.
But he's a shooter.
He's Ben Gordon 2.0. Right?
No, I wouldn't say.
No,
But
do you think But Ben Gordon or Rodney Stuckey?
More of Rodney Stuckey.
He's not a
He's in between. Rodney Stuckey has made 3 games.
Okay, no three.
I think
In terms of
he's in between Rodney Stuckey and Ben Gordon.
Right, somewhere along
safe guy, you know.
I'm just saying,
the tweener guard. No, but that's my point though, because I mean, LeBron's always had those knockdown shooters.
Yeah.
Booby Gibson, you got Mike Miller's, those guys. I mean, I don't know, that's just my conspiracy.
But why don't you get Mike Miller na lang instead of
Mike Miller is there.
No, but I mean, but hindi na si Mike Miller yung alongside.
He's also becomes off.
Pero he's too starting right now. Si ano eh. Sean Marion is shooting guard.
Yeah.
Tama ba?
I think it's because of the defense and that's why they started Marion.
Yeah, that's a good call.
Tsaka they're trying to play positionless basketball.
Yeah.
That's what they want just Euro aspire for in David Blatt's system.
At least not there's some semblance of Euro, Princeton off. I mean, not to say that we're experts of that, but I mean, you can see the movement, you can see the down picks from the weak side moving to the strong side. At least it's better than Mike Brown, ISO.
Yeah,
ISO
but
at the top of the key.
see, perfect. It's perfect that you brought that up. Okay, the Princeton offense is all about off-ball screens, off-ball cuts, right?
Off-ball movement.
Yeah, well,
Less ISOs.
yeah.
What did we see in the past few games though? All ISO.
Puro ISO.
Kyrie.
Not just Kyrie, even LeBron.
Yeah, LeBron. Yeah.
That's why they had 6 total assists in one game. That's not they didn't run the Princeton offense in that game per se.
Exactly.
So I guess going back to Stan's point, is it David Blatt? I mean, is it just David Blatt lacking power? I mean,
We haven't really answered the question. When will the
No, but that's okay. That's okay. Kasi it's going to be a long process. I think yung bigger issue now moving forward, at least for the Cavs, is when does David Blatt start holding LeBron accountable?
Is he ever?
Again, that's a good sub question. It's a good sub point. Kasi it may not happen.
May not happen.
Yeah.
All I'm saying is in episode 1, I told you guys it was gonna be
Overrated.
I told you guys.
Bold place, man.
No matter the talent of players you have, it's about meshing.
Chemistry.
It's about
Chemistry.
Basketball is a team.
Bro, I say give it time, pero tana Washington Wizards pa rin.
Bold claim. Yeah.
No, Washington.
Doing well.
Doing really well.
Which was destroyed by the Raptors recently.
Because the Raptors are number 1 in the East.
We the North, man.
Fuck Brooklyn.
They don't have a LeBron, they don't have a Irving.
Because it's all about meshing.
Perfect.
All about
But yeah, I think it's just similar lang naman to their scenario in Miami. Parang it will take time, pero once they start clicking, parang they're gonna be an animal.
Right.
They're gonna be a machine.
Right.
I like that you mentioned teams just clicking because we have to talk about another team that is just losing players left and right and they're just waiting to get everybody back to click again. OKC, hashtag everybody down. How far will they fall off from the playoff race given now wala si Durant, wala si Westbrook, Reggie Jackson just got back, Roberson's down, PJ3 is down, Jeremy Lamb is down.
No,
What you
just
need?
came back today.
Alright, so
But down for the longest time.
Anthony Morrow's been shooting
Yup.
without the knee brace anymore.
Yeah, but he's also been out for.
at one point they just had 6 players on their active roster.
All I'm saying is they might be the threat to the Spurs in the playoffs.
Yun na yan.
It might be a 1-8 matchup.
Pag binanggit ni Anton, all I'm saying is bold claim. Alert pare, alert lang yun.
They can be the strongest 7th or 8th seed ever.
Hey, how about this scenario?
I don't think
Number 8 seed.
Arguably.
Ever.
Could be.
Ito, how about this scenario? Number 8 seed OKC versus number 1 seed Houston Rockets.
They're not gonna be number one.
Gonna be number one.
They're not gonna be number one.
Harden again.
I think the Rockets are not for real. And I'm saying this as a Rockets fan.
Oh man.
They're not for. You know who else says they're not for real? Nerlens Noel. Get the shit out of here, Harden.
That was an epic flop, man. That was an epic flop. But let's go back
Play
to
of the
OKC.
day.
Let's go back to OKC.
Okay.
Because when you think about the West and how tough it is, Tyler last year took 48, 49 wins to even crack the playoff rotation in the West.
Sobrang competitive
So
eh.
at this point, nawala si Kevin Durant. How many wins can they get before he comes back by December? If they can reach 10 wins, puta na swerte na sila.
They'll have more than
Wait,
that.
how
No, I don't think
how
they
many
will.
games do we usually have a month?
You normally have somewhere between 12 and 15
Yeah,
games in a month.
15. So let's assume
Maybe
that we
around
have,
20 games.
Let's assume we have 25 games in. 25
20
games.
games.
Oh,
Right.
okay.
Dude, swerte na sila pag nakacrack sila ng 10 wins in that 25 game
50%
span.
swerte na yun. No?
Kasi if they had Durant and Westbrook at full health and you had a 25 game schedule, you can expect them to win as many as 20, maybe even 22, 23 games.
Agreed.
But without those two guys, you probably bring that win total down to like mga 7,
Less than
8.
half.
And that's crucial when you go down the road and you're competing for a playoff spot. Remember what happened between Phoenix, Memphis, and Dallas last year?
Exactly.
That was amazing.
That
Fighting
crazy,
for
that crazy.
those last 2 spots. Putana, I can see OKC fighting for that 7-8 seed, and that's dangerous for them because their window might be closing already.
Right. I guess it depends on their schedule. What if they have an East Coast trip coming up?
Dude,
Just chilling, man.
alright. Their schedule so far has been one of the more easy
Easiest.
ones
Yeah, yeah.
in the Western Conference, and they haven't been winning. They've
Right.
only won once in 6 games.
But today they actually competed.
Yeah,
It's
versus
very-
I was watching it all.
Yeah, exactly. Still the win-loss at the end of the day.
Talo pa din sila.
Well, again, going back to our earlier point, it's just about finding people to step up.
Yeah.
There was a game fucking Kendrick Perkins at
17
Yeah, that's
points.
right. I saw that.
Silencer, man.
What the fuck?
I was
nice.
waiting for the next game. You could finally pick him up in fantasy again.
Masaya na.
Years of
pwede-
irrelevance.
Pwede na i-pick up si Bassie Telfair. How long has it been since Bassie Telfair
Yeah.
was relevant? So it's nice to see
High
him.
High school phenom.
But still can't shoot.
It doesn't matter.
Some people just can't shoot.
It doesn't matter. He's helping the Thunder right now
Can't
because
play,
the Thunder need
can't shoot,
everyone
can't
who
play.
can suit up.
Yeah.
So nakakatakot ako, just from my perspective, kasi it makes me think that that window that they once had, which everyone thought was wide open pre-Harden trade, is closing faster than everyone can see.
Alright, to add to that, you know how everyone kept criticizing Scott Brooks?
Right. Okay.
Because, people were saying, oh, the Oklahoma City Thunder are just winning because they have Durant, they have Westbrook.
Right
Now, this is now
Coaching.
This is now
Yeah.
the time for
Scotty Brooks to step up.
And you can see it. He actually has been stepping up kasi when you have a team with no superstars, you have to rely on set plays.
Yeah,
exactly.
And
that's
they've
why-
executing.
Exactly, and executing those set plays. That's why you have guys like Lance Thomas putting up 14 points in one game. Who the fuck is Lance Thomas?
I don't know that guy.
You know Malcolm Thomas.
Dude,
It's a Duke guy, right?
Yeah, he's a good guy.
But-
So, ito na, just for fun. Are they gonna call up Josh Hughes if they run out of
good
players?
point.
They should.
But they put Josh Hughes in the D League para makasave sila ng money so that they don't go over the cap. If they call up Josh Hughes, they're gonna go over the cap. They're gonna have to sign his contract.
I think they're gonna sign.
How does that
someone
work?
else.
Can you do a 10-day with him? Because he's
I'm not
technically
sure.
employed
I think they're just gonna sign another
Kasi-
veteran.
Kasi what you can do right there is kung talagang sagad na yung roster mo, if you just need a body, diba? You sign him for
A hardship
diba?
claim.
Yeah,
You call that a
that-
hardship claim, and that's something
Yeah.
Indiana actually cashed in this week when they signed. They
no,
signed.
no, AJ Price.
AJ Price.
Yes, they signed him under the hardship claim, which under NBA collective bargaining agreement rules allows teams to have a 16th player if they have too many injured guys on their roster.
Zach knows that you speaking.
Here's my dream scenario for OKC, and I'm not saying there's a possibility. Okay, I'm just saying. Right now with all the injuries, should they just bring Michael Beasley in?
Putang
Oh,
ina. No, hindi niya
again,
kaya.
again.
His contract doesn't free him up until March.
With KD,
March.
chemistry. Oh yeah, true. But
Michael
I'd
Beasley's
love to
contract
see
is
that.
that guy. Yeah.
Because I mean, KD and Michael Beasley were like childhood friends.
Yep.
They're one of the picks.
I know,
Very
Anton, you'd still want to see Beasley succeed.
I still believe.
Exactly.
believe.
Same here.
But believes. Yao Ming believes.
Devontae West believes. No, it's a side story about Michael Beasley and Kevin Durant. I was reading about this one time. How Kevin Durant's favorite memory of Michael Beasley growing up was Michael Beasley stealing
Peanut butter.
the team pizza. Because they had a basketball game and
They
then
won.
I don't know if they won or not, but then someone's mom ordered pizza and whatnot. But then you know how kids are, they don't want to eat just yet.
Yeah.
And then when they were ready to eat, they went to see the pizza and it was gone. And then they all look out the window and Michael Beasley was going inside his car.
I guess that calls for Jalen Rose. Hold me back.
But they were just like 10, 12 years old back then. So I mean, you could see signs of the munchies without them. A whole fucking pizza by yourself as a 12-year-old? Are you kidding me?
Beasley.
But then Kevin Durant has said on numerous occasions that Michael Beasley is the best player he's ever seen one-on-one.
Huh?
Really? Yeah.
I wonder if he'll ever change that opinion.
Over LeBron and all.
No, but I mean, he lit it up in Kansas State, right?
He
was a beast.
Pero one and done siya, di ba?
One and done, yeah. I don't know if
He is the best
No.
college basketball player I've
What-
ever seen.
Better
in my
than Melo?
life. In my life. He was just
live.
in my life.
No. Did you get to see him in the NCAA in person? No.
Dude, I lived in Delaware. He was in Kansas. That's
Sorry,
so
sorry.
far. No, but yeah, dude, Melo was amazing. Melo was amazing. But you had this guy dropping like 40 and 15 on like 15 shot attempts. He was ridiculous.
Yeah, exactly.
Kansas State would have been irrelevant if it wasn't for that guy. He was just amazing. I was one of the few people that wanted Michael Beasley
For the
first pick
Bulls,
overall.
I was rooting for that.
Yeah.
Didn't pan out, but
Did it not apply? I thought he was gonna be the next Melo.
Are we good? Are we good with OKC
Yeah.
and Beasley? Alright, let's talk about undefeated teams now. We have 3 undefeated teams so far. We got the Rockets, the Warriors, and the Grizzlies. How far will they go in the playoffs? Yun yung tanong kasi lahat sila Western Conference teams. Memphis was one of those 3 teams fighting for those last 2 spots. Rockets, as you remember, were eliminated in the first round. Fuck you, Damian Lillard, but I still love you. and the Warriors, we saw how that went last year when they
Clippers pushed
when they
to
got
7.
eliminated by the Clippers.
Which team did we start with?
Let's talk about the Rockets. I said it na kanina. I don't think
you
they're
talk
for real.
about the round. You got it.
I don't
It's
think
the
they're for real.
Rockets.
How about you ask our producer, man, to say something?
Direct, as a fellow Rockets fan, what do you think? Kasi feeling ko talaga it's just a hot start. When everything gets settled, when the dust settles in, I feel like they're gonna be in the middle of the pack once again.
Feeling ko matatanggal sila eh. Ikaw ba games nila ngayon? Sino kalaban?
Actually, yeah, they've had a relatively light schedule.
You guys needed 18 free throws from James Harden and
It's a normal game.
And 16 made 3-pointers to beat my Sixers. It was a competitive. It was a competitive game until all those threes from Trevor Ariza and Kanan started dropping. Like, what the hell?
I like though how Trevor Ariza has become one of the more efficient players
Underrated.
in the season. No, this season, dude, that shots niya either layups, dunks, or threes. That's it. No mid-range shots.
Flashback. Remember when you guys signed him and we had this conversation? I
Yeah.
gave you his advanced stats and I said,
Right.
he's actually going to replace Chandler Parsons really well.
And
And so far,
So far,
right.
yes.
You are proving right, and it's a Daryl Morey wet dream happening right now. He's taking efficient shots at the rim and corner threes, and that's what they signed him to do.
and at third,
That's what they're doing.
8 mil cheaper. than-
Yeah.
Then sulit.
Yeah, so sinusulit nila, and I like how not having, I can't believe I'm saying this, but I like how not having Parsons around also opens up the floor for T. Jones. Who's I think Darren Jones is hurt, fine, he's out for a week, but he's been producing pretty well.
Yeah.
Like if you have him in your fantasy team, he was a
Double-double.
great pickup. He's a bargain in round 8, round 7, in case you're still drafting, because apparently there's a poor draft.
Like postponed drafts, yeah.
Yeah, so
I'm
he's
quite
a bargain.
happy that Trevor Ariza is proving us, NBA experts wrong because I wasn't expecting.
us.
No, sorry.
Not
I mean,
us.
no.
We were expecting this.
No, I mean, I wasn't expecting the Washington season to carry over to Houston, but apparently it seems like he really did well. It wasn't a fluke. He's producing well.
He's buying into the system.
System, yeah.
You know what Trevor Ariza we're seeing right now? 2009 Finals Trevor Ariza.
Lakers.
Lakers, yeah.
Lakers Trevor Ariza.
That's exactly what Daryl Morey
The-
wants.
the
But that's
season-
not what he got in 2008.
Isn't that his breakout season?
That was his contract.
No.
Yeah,
Or
contract.
something
Then
crucial year for
moved to
him.
Orlando, right?
No, Houston, and then you.
Oh, sorry, Houston. Then, yeah. there you
Yung
go.
Orlando seasons was his earlier part of the
Oh.
career.
He was traded from Orlando
New York.
to
To Lakers.
the Lakers.
At tama, so second stint yata sa Houston.
Right. Second stint na niya sa.
Yung Lakers Houston trade, that was for Artest.
It wasn't exactly a trade. kasi-
Sorry.
Sorry,
You're signing agent, pero
Parang
parang
Cleveland, Miami ngayon with
Exactly.
Golding and LeBron.
Yeah.
Was it? Sorry, since we're on Trevor Ariza.
Sure.
Trevor Ariza was drafted 2004, right?
Yes. High school. Out of high school.
Yeah.
Out of high school.
No,
No,
1 year.
He had 1 year UCLA.
One
You
year.
know why I know this? 2004. It was
What?
2002. There was a hype fucking matchup. Oh, LeBron James against Trevor Ariza. Yeah, and then everyone was like, oh my god, these two are gonna be like the future of the NBA. And LeBron lit him up for like 40, 20, and 15, something like that. So then Trevor Ariza ended up going to UCLA and playing 1 year, then getting drafted in the second round
By the Knicks.
And medyo bangko pa siya.
Yeah, by the Knicks.
And then got traded to Orlando.
for Penny Hardaway.
Yeah.
But at least he got a
And
ring. He still got a
Penny
ring.
Hardaway
man.
for Steve Francis.
There you go.
Still,
Isaiah Thomas.
yeah, still got a ring.
Stevie
Still
Francis.
got a ring. Still got a ring with the Lakers, man.
Lakers playing wouldn't have won that.
Yeah, without him, yeah.
Big shots.
Back to the original question, how far does Houston go into the playoffs? Like, Kev says they're not going to make the playoffs. I say they're going to be in the same 4, 5, 6 range that they were last year. They were
Feeling ko 6, 7, 8.
Ako rin, 6-7.
6-7.
6-7.
Hindi na malayo yun.
Kasi aangat yung mga Mavs eh. Mavs and Golden State will go up eh. So
I'm not so
sure. We'll get there. We'll get there.
I think
But-
4, 5, 6 for me, around that range. Then.
I'm with Stan actually. I don't think they had like major changes in the team. Actually, to be honest.
I don't know if we're not yet because it's not yet the playoffs and they haven't really
Yeah, it's
played a tough opponent. I mean,
They had Miami.
excuse me to the Sixer fans in Miami, but they haven't had that all 6 games that's pretty tough. So I don't know if when they get to the playoffs, because so far your backup big man Domo isn't doing shit.
Yeah, Domo isn't doing shit. I agree.
Don't worry.
You'll miss over it. You'll miss Ashika.
Oh,
Ashika's
naman.
doing so much damage.
No, the thing with Rashid was they didn't know how to use it.
Diba?
We didn't know how to use it in the system that Kevin McHale has.
Yeah.
And that's
They
something
knew how to
everyone
use him
respects.
without Dwight Howard.
Yeah, because fucking Kevin McHale wanted Twin Tower effect.
Which couldn't happen because neither of them
That's
can
so
shoot.
weird. That's so weird.
When you have Dwight Howard in your basketball ecosystem, you need to surround him with shooters.
Exactly.
Like
You can't
Ryan
have him mix
Anderson,
it up.
I think Ryan Anderson's actually the perfect teammate for him. If they could,
Which is why
T.
Anthony
Jones-
Davis has Ryan Anderson.
In fairness naman, T. Jones can shoot naman the
He can
Nowhere
shoot, he's
near
no
Ryan
Ryan
not,
Anderson.
not consistently,
He's
but
not even on Markieff Morris's level.
You know who'd be perfect with Dwight Howard?
oh,
Pero Antic.
we got some love for
We love
P-E-R-O.
Pero.
All right, now let's talk about the Warriors. You guys mentioned the Warriors earlier. How far do they go this time? It's basically the same roster. Pero ngayon si David Lee, he's actually been injured to start the season. Draymond Green plugged in the starting lineup.
He's been playing amazing.
Amazing.
Draymond
yeah,
Green, beast
Draymond.
mode right now.
Sleeper pictures of fantasy. I actually got to draft him by accident in one league and I regretted it. Only to find out the putana I regret regretting it.
The thing, I don't know. It might be a personal thing, but
The better splash, brother.
no. Here's the thing. I'm not a huge fan of teams that live and die by the jump shot.
Okay.
Who's your inside scoring option?
Right now, wala.
No one, right? So I mean, my point lang is, Klay Thompson is balling out of his mind, right? And I hope he continues that. I just don't think that he's gonna be able to continue his hot streak.
You know what? Just talk about the Warriors on a lighter level. Natutuwa lang ako na when you play NBA 2K15, if you notice the commentary, you have Clark Kellogg, you have Kevin Harlan, putana you have Steve Kerr on commentary. That's messed up. Because if you play as the Warriors or you play with the Warriors, then I have Steve Kerr there coaching. I don't know. That's just me. That's just me poking fun and nitpicking at how they still had Steve Kerr on the commentary team. But going back to the issue of the Warriors, Anton's right. Tana, wala silang big men aside from Andrew Bogut and Draymond Green.
Doesn't score, pero plays defense.
And Bogut was shooting with his free throws with
Can-
the left
Again,
hand or
ba?
something.
I haven't seen.
What happened to that guy? Number 1 pick.
No, it's the injuries with Andrew
Sa
Bogut.
bagay, yeah.
That's also the reason why nobody should ever draft him in fantasy. And yet people still do.
Because of the name.
No, because of fucking autopick.
yeah, not the pick.
Sayang yung they let J.O. walk. I think he was a good veteran. I know he didn't play every game, but right now, who's their backup
Although
center? Festus Ezeli.
Although Jermaine was watching.
Yeah.
Who was watching?
Who? Onion Kuzmich? Who the?
You know how desperate they are to look for
A big man?
not just a big man, for like inside scoring. If you guys have noticed, they've been posting Sean Livingston up. They don't have a back down.
Yeah,
big man,
back
exactly.
down.
So they've been posting Sean Livingston up.
What the fuck?
Yeah, I've seen lineups where they'd have Andrew Bogut, of course, center.
Yeah.
Power forward would be Andre Iguodala. Small forward would be Sean
Yeah.
Livingston, and then the
Wow.
Splash Brothers.
Wow.
And then, but the thing
It's
is,
kind of funky.
Andre Iguodala plays outside, and he can't post up. So
Yeah,
they
he
put
can't.
they put Sean Livingston on offensive power forward. Yeah, it's crazy.
I don't know, but
So how far do we see them making it this year? Because I still think they're a playoff team.
Definitely,
I don't
definitely.
think they're a playoff team.
For me, they're a playoff.
man, I was impressed by the way they clobbered the Clippers. That was assassination.
Oh
you know?
yeah. I mean,
Fatality.
I hope I'm wrong because
Yeah.
I love Clay.
Yeah.
Clay is my kind of shooting guard. Plays
Yep.
defense first,
Yep.
can knock down and can score
He-
like any other area.
He deserved that contract.
He did. But
And it's not a max contract.
He's not a man.
Let's make that clear.
Right.
He's a max contract.
So-
People are bitching about that.
yeah, he could have been worth the max contract.
Yep.
by the way. But I mean, back to my point with Klay Thompson. I hope this isn't just a hot streak. I hope this is Klay Thompson.
Yeah.
Yeah,
The threat. The better Splash Brother. As I've been saying for years. All you Steph Curry fans, all hyped up and shit.
Interesting, diba? A brief side note on the contracts. Really interesting na people think Steph Curry is the better Splash Brother.
He's not.
But Clay is the more overpaid, the one who's going to get paid more. 69 million over 4 years.
Because I think they got a bargain for Steph.
You know why?
They did.
Because at the time, glass ankles was his Steph Curry.
Yeah.
It was
Insurance
before,
policy, man.
it was before he was wearing Under Armour.
That's
I know. I was about to point that out.
Yeah, but-
Everyone, cheering for Steph Curry buying his shoes.
Shoes? Under Armour. You picture Steph Curry. That Steph Curry picture in Mega Mall really makes me happy.
Yeah, but I give that to him, naman. He hasn't been. He's been quite healthy and good enough. So, because I didn't like that year he missed the playoffs. I forgot who. No, sorry, not playoffs. The All-Star game.
Alright.
Someone was taken over him, but he was.
Marcus.
No. Sorry, no. David Lee was picked over him
Yeah.
David Lee.
to represent
Also,
the
dude, he
West.
was balling that year.
Yeah, but I don't know. But
He was balling that year. He deserved that. It's just that the West had a lot of point guards.
point guard, yeah, exactly. So yun lang siguro. But is Steph Curry the head of the snake?
Of course he's the head of the snake. What kind of fucked up question is that? He is the head of the snake.
Yes, he is.
So that's why I wanted him to be.
He's the
at
head of the snake, but only because of his role.
Yeah.
Because the
He gets the
Warriors
ball.
are Curry's team. At the end of the day, no matter what you say about Clay, I respect your opinion on Clay, but at the end of the day, Stephen Curry is the head of the snake.
He's the guy who would take the last shot.
Yeah.
There's no doubting that, but I'm just saying, like, let's say you put Kyrie or Lillard instead of Steph, I think they'd be the exact same thing.
Yeah. Easily replaceable.
Easily
kumbaga.
replaceable.
Yeah, I agree.
So what's the number?
I don't think they're gonna make the playoffs still.
Okay.
Like I said in the first episode, I don't think they're making the playoffs.
I would say they're in that 7-8 spot. They're going to be fighting for that.
Agreed.
One of
Me
those
also,
last two
7-8
spots.
slot. Yeah.
I
Right.
think they're gonna make top 4.
You know
Whoa, Clay.
Wow.
No,
Say it.
top
Say it.
4, top 4.
You know who I think who's gonna replace the Warriors in the playoffs?
Memphis.
Pelicans.
Oh.
That's
not Sacramento.
No, I would say the Suns, dude. I think the Pelicans need one more year. I think it's the Suns' time to be in the
But it's good to see
Don't
that the
touch
Pelicans
Drew.
are improving.
Oh, naman. Oh,
by
naman.
leaps and bounds.
Teka, before we wrap up, let's talk about one last team that has remained undefeated, and they deserve our due attention: the Memphis Grizzlies.
Yeah.
Who would have expected
It's grind time, baby.
that the Grit and Grind Grizzlies
Grit and Grind.
will be undefeated after 2 weeks?
Oh, man.
Tony Allen has been a surprise para sa akin. I mean, I didn't expect Trick or Treat Tony to still be giving
It's
tricks.
alright, man. Don't be too sad about losing him.
No, I'm not sad about that. I like Tony Allen. I'm still a Tony Allen fan. Pero nakakatuwa na he's still producing at a high level.
And this defense, grabe, hindi nawawala.
VC is playing well.
He is playing well. But when do they replace Tayshaun Prince in that starting lineup? Yun na lang hinihintay ko eh. Because Tayshaun Prince has already expired.
Don't fix Infinite Broke, man. They're undefeated. Keep them there.
But Tayshaun
But
Prince...
he's not playing in a lot of
Minutes.
games.
Yeah,
Yeah,
he's
kumbaga starter lang.
Yeah.
Sa sub.
So what
Or
for?
sometimes he doesn't play actually.
I want to get
When you
rid of
look at it.
Tayshaun.
It's- I mean, the essence behind that is having firepower off the bench.
Yeah.
It's like if you brought Tayshaun off the bench, you wouldn't get much of a spark as compared to like VC.
Sure. Okay, that's a good point.
Yeah.
Here's a question that I want us to sink our teeth into. How different have these Grizzlies been under Dave Yeager than they were under Lionel Hollins? Because in Lionel Hollins Grizzlies, those guys would kill for Lionel Hollins.
Right.
And we knew that. They really played balls to the wall. These Dave Yeager Grizzlies, in a way, they're different. Like, say, yung supporting cast nila, nag-rotate na. You have a revolving door of guys coming in and out.
The core's still there though.
The core is still there, and they still have that identity as grit and grind.
Yeah.
But how different are they from those Hollins Grizzlies?
The Lions, Hollins, Grizzlies. It's very, very obvious and apparent because the Lions, Hollins, Grizzlies team, you were ground and pound with the paint. You
Right,
had Mark
Sobra.
and Zach.
Zach,
right?
right, yeah.
They're still there now.
High low, yeah.
High low. They're still there now, but right now, this team is winning because of Mike Conley. It's
That's
the
true.
point guard play now.
We've seen that since last year. Like emerged
Right, right.
Conley.
That's the biggest difference between the two coaches. It's before it was inside out. Now it's like outside in. You see Mark Jack.
And he was the one who killed
Yeah,
OKC
sure.
yesterday, a while ago eh. Dalawang dagger na
Mike
threes.
Conley.
Yeah.
Most
Kanina,
underrated point guard.
Killed it.
so underrated, yeah.
I think the most underrated point guard.
Agree.
Is this the year Mike Conley becomes an all-star?
He should be an
He
all-star.
should be.
He should be, but with all those.
I don't want them to base it off of stats. I want them to see how
Perform-
good
yeah,
Mike Conley
pass the eye
is.
test,
Dude,
man.
Kyle Lowry missed out on the All-Star team because of that same mentality that the coaches had. And I was so pissed. I mean, fine, DeMar DeRozan probably deserved it, but as a Lowry fan, I felt so shortchanged to see Lowry yung hindi naging All-Star.
Oh, that was okay to put DeRozan in. If they had to take someone out, it would have been Joe Johnson.
Yeah,
I would have put,
I agree with
as a Brooklyn Nets fan, try to remove all bias. I would have put Lowry. He
Right.
deserved that seat there.
Right.
But
No, I agree.
but hopefully this year, if they do well, looking at their record, 5-1, hopefully both of them
Good
get
start.
in.
Good start.
I just hope na Conley and Lowry are in the same conversation because they seem like they're in the same conversation now.
Oh yeah.
Tsaka they used to play together, di ba? Conley and Lowry.
Yeah, they
one
were-
time.
That's right.
Back
Yeah,
Lowry was Conley's
Villanova,
backup.
right?
That's
Pero
crazy.
Lowry was
Drafted from
Conley
Villanova.
Senior.
No,
That's crazy.
Lowry was Conley Senior, and he was made to be the backup of Mike Conley.
So where do we
In the
see
22
the
win
Grizzlies? Are they
Grizzlies
top
team.
4, top?
Top 4.
I said in the first episode, they're my number 2 team in the West.
Shit.
Easily. I
Maybe
said
top
that in the
But
first
they're, but
episode.
they're proving it right now. They're showing it. They've been battling,
And when you look at their schedule, they've been facing tough teams.
We said at the start of the season, and this is not just we in the recess table, but even other people in sports media, na in the West, you have the holy trinity of the Spurs, Thunder, Clippers. I'd like to say right now, hindi na siya holy trinity. It's the Spurs and the Clippers right now.
Yeah.
Everyone else is gunning for that number 3 spot, and it's wide open right now. And I think that the Grizzlies have a legitimate shot at number 3, but
Or
they're
2.
probably not going to get there. I would say that. I would love to see the Clippers and the Grizzlies go at it again in the playoffs.
Patayan yan.
I love that. Zach
Saya
Rattles.
rivalry nun. Zach versus Blake. Conley versus Paul.
The Andre versus Mark.
Yeah.
Ooh, spice.
And then you have the enforcers in Tony Allen and Matt Barnes.
Shit, sapakan na lang ata yun eh.
Kulang na lang walang pretty boy sa Memphis kasi they don't need a pretty boy.
Yeah.
No JG Redick counterpart, man.
I guess we actually want to talk about rookies, but we'll probably save that for the next
Yeah.
episode because we have a lot of rookies that we need to watch out for right now. But it's been a fun time, just chatting about what's happened so far in the first 2 weeks of the season. Do let us know if there's anything that we may have missed out on or something you might want to pipe in on. So you can tweet us, you can follow us. I'll start off with my Twitter handle @stan947.
At Jalen Burlake.
At X-Pac Pahog.
I don't have a Twitter, guys. Sorry.
Just at the recess table.
Just at the recess.
There you go. I'm at Arellano Ton.
And we want to thank you. Let us know. Hit us up in the comment section. Hit us up in the comment section if there's anything that you want to tell us to improve. But before we end, we have to get to one of our prized segments. We call this Pick and Troll. If you're new to this segment, it's when we have a week's worth of games. Slat kami, pipili kami kung sino yung mga teams na sa tingin namin mananalo. And at the end of the week, at the end of the 7-day span, whoever picked the least amount of teams na manalo, he'll have to do a consequence. Now, the last consequence last time was the loser would have to wear
Cross-dress.
spaghetti
Spaghetti
strap and a mini skirt around the podium.
Right.
This week's consequence
Is.
is.
Drum roll, please. I don't know. I don't know. You think about it.
You know what? Let's make it the same consequence para may kasama si Dustin. Para dalawa sila. I wouldn't mind seeing that. Like having two guys cross-dressing together. Solidarity in numbers.
That's
Wala
fine.
naman si Dustin dito eh. So he
Well,
won't.
are we in agreement, boys? Okay.
I'm
Sige,
good.
we'll do. Since we haven't taped that, we'll do
Oh,
it.
sasabay natin.
Sasabay na natin.
What's up with us in cross-dressing?
I don't know, man. I don't know. But sige. So let's go through the games.
Holding hands?
Oh, and they have to be holding hands.
Holding hands. All right.
Sige.
Let's put it out there.
Let's put it out there. They have to be holding hands. Sige. 7 games, 1 game a day. Let's start off with the game scheduled for November 11th. That's next Tuesday. Pelicans versus Cavaliers. So, anyone?
Pelicans for sure. I'm a big Drew fan. Cavs are still trying to mesh. And the Pelicans have looked amazing recently.
I would go for the Pelicans as well. Yeah, so I don't need to explain, just give your pick.
Sige, Pelicans, man.
X-Pac,
Cavs.
AD.
Cleveland.
Alright, sige.
Pelicans.
Ito na yung first, kasama nga pala si Kev. So, 4 guys for the Pelicans, 2 for the Cavs. November 12, Wednesday, our featured matchup. You got the Spurs and the Warriors.
You don't need to ask me what's my pick.
Hashtag go Spurs
I'll
go.
just enjoy my pizza here.
Spurs din ako for that game.
Sorry, I'm actually against the Warriors, but then I'd pick the Warriors for that game just because I don't know the resting schedule Popovich has.
That's a very good point. It's a very good
I'm
point.
going Warriors. I'm going
Warriors also.
Ako rin Warriors din ako.
Warriors.
Warriors.
4-2
Alright,
We're all
November
gonna regret
13, Thursday. Pistons Wizards.
Ooh.
Wizards ako for sure.
Wizards, man.
Yeah.
Wizards.
Wizards.
Unanimous pa tayo, Wizards, on that for that third game.
Oh, sige.
Ayaw mag-isa.
Ayaw mag-isa. Si Stan Van Gundy hasn't unleashed Andre Drummond so parang ang sama Tapos sinasabay niya na naman yung tatlo. So, let's go with
Only they're 2-0 with both of
but still, alangan yun. I am not in favor of it.
Sure. November 14, Friday, Nets Wizards. Nets Warriors.
Obviously, Nets.
Nets Warriors.
Oh, Warriors.
You're gonna make me pick the Warriors twice. What the hell is this list?
Warriors ako.
Yeah, Warriors.
I'll pick the
Good,
Warriors.
there's no other nice
Warriors.
Alright, are we good?
I'm the only one that's.
Okay.
Kaya pala ayaw mo mag-back-to-back mag-isa eh.
On November 15, Saturday, Hornets and Suns. Shit,
Ooh,
that's a fun matchup. That's a fun matchup.
Suns.
I'll go with the Suns.
I believe in Born Ready. I'm gonna go Hornets.
Mag-Hornets ako.
Teka lang kasama eh.
Ako
Hornets.
Hornets talaga ako. No one's gonna guard Aljef. No one is gonna guard.
Actually, yeah,
Hornets,
that's a very
yeah.
good point.
Shit, sana hindi mo minake yung point ng Hornets sa Samson.
Last point, good point. November 16, Sunday, Hornets versus Warriors.
Oh.
Warriors again? This list,
Kasi yung Warriors fan dito.
Tatlong
Why do we have the Warriors?
Puro Warriors.
We have three
Kaya pumili, wala maganda.
Wala tao.
They're not even league pass favorites.
Di ba si Kev na pumili, okay na yan.
Yeah.
Hornets Warriors.
Hornets.
Alright, Hornets.
No defense also.
Yeah,
I'm not about to pick the Warriors.
Warriors.
I'm picking the Hornets for this one.
I'm going with the
Warriors
Hornets.
Warriors ako.
Ano ako na mag-isa?
Alright, and last
Oo,
up.
kasama tayo.
Okay.
Last up, this is gonna be fun. November 17, Monday. Bucks Heat.
Heat! That's easy. Heat!
Yeah, it's an easy pick. But it's fun. Our Heat.
Heat.
I would dare you to go Bucks.
Yes! Yes! Kasama si Dustin!
Bahala na.
Boys, alam ko kasi nabubuting nga si Dustin sa next. Right, that's gonna do it for episode number 2 of The Recess Table. Once again, follow us on Twitter at The Recess Table. We will catch you again for another episode next week. Grab a chair, sports fan. Thanks and peace out.
That's gonna be like Harry Potter and Hagrid walking on the podium.